Hello, have you been feeling a lot of negativity towards other people? Today, I put together a list of 9 amazing points which you can learn and remind yourself every time you want to bring yourself back to happiness and positivity towards others. Let's get right into it. Number 9. All of us are very similar in nature deep down. On the surface, it may seem that all of us are just so unique. We have different personalities. One is extrovert, one is introvert. One is humble, one is boastful. One is helpful, one is selfish. One is tall, one is short. We may see all those differences, but these are actually all on the surface. Deep down, in terms of what we are built with, our deeper traits and desires, we are all very similar. In fact, even the range of emotions that we all feel is pretty universal in nature. Like we all feel love, joy, camaraderie, then anger, jealousy, sadness, disappointment, etc. Like we all relate to these emotions. And deep down, we all want similar things. We want to survive. We want love. We want compliments. We want food, water. We want security. We want to control things. We want to compete and win. We want respect and status from the society, etc. And deep down, all of us are pretty self-centered. So whenever you're feeling very negative towards others, you're making a huge mistake. You are essentially putting them in a different category than yours. It's like that person is bad, I'm good. Like I don't do what they do. And that's a huge mistake. Let's say your partner lied to you and you're like, you are a liar. Like how dare you lie to me? Now reflect. Think back. Have you ever lied? There must have been some circumstances, right? Where you have lied as well. Maybe you lied to your boss or maybe you lied to your parents. Now you may justify that by saying, well, lying to parents is okay, but lying to partner is not. Yes, there are different degrees of crimes here, but deep down, the thing is same, which is you both lied for some purpose. Deep down, you're very similar to anybody who you're judging. So whenever you are feeling negativity towards somebody, try to find that similarity. Deep down, how are we similar? And the moment you truly discover that similarity, it becomes very difficult to feel negative towards that person because then you would be a hypocrite. How can you act negatively towards somebody for something which you are also doing? Like how would you be upset? Like if you find out that somebody was talking behind your back, but then you realize, oh wait, I also bitch about people all the time, then what right will you have to be upset at them? So identifying that similarity is the biggest antidote to negativity towards others. Next, 8. It's all because of ignorance. You will find people doing stupid, immoral things all the time, and you often want to blame them and you feel angry towards them. You are judging them, but you always forget that where is it coming from? Think about that. At the end of the day, people are just products of their nature and nurture. Like whatever has happened before this moment or before the moment of their mistake. Hundreds and thousands or millions of causes have contributed to that mistake or to that event. And among those causes, we have the person's knowledge and stupidities. So whatever mistake you're seeing in a person, please remember that it's because partly that person is ignorant or stupid in some way. And that's exactly how you and me are as well. We also live a life which is a mix of wisdom and ignorance. So there will always be some share of stupidity and ignorance in us. It cannot be completely eliminated. That's just impossible. So whenever you are angry at other people, the big mistake that you're making is you're attributing that mistake to that person. That person is bad, evil, or wrong in some manner. You're not attributing that mistake to the share of ignorance that the person has. Like somebody was rude to you, well, their ignorance was that they don't know what's the right way to talk to people, like what's respectful, what's constructive, what is polite in society. And maybe their ignorance is also that they don't really give much care about the feelings of other people. That's their ignorance and that's why they were rude. Like at your workplace, somebody is trying to bitch about you so that they can get the promotion and you don't. Well, what is the ignorance there? They don't realize that there are better ways to succeed in the world. They can just try to work on themselves, like work really hard, learn new things, show results, and that's the healthy way to succeed. But they are trying to employ shortcut methods. They are ready to step on other people's toes, and they don't realize that in the long run, that's actually not a healthy, sustainable, or even an effective way to grow. And because of that ignorance, that person is bitching about you and stepping on your toes. And can we blame people for their ignorance? Of course not. They are products of their nature and nurture. This is all they have right now. You cannot expect anything more from them. And once you realize this way of looking at people, you can pretty much forgive every mistake mistake because the cause of the mistake is ignorance. Ignorance is inevitable. And once you start to look at mistakes this way, it's very hard to be negative towards others, because now behind every mistake you can think of some ignorance, and you can also remember that some ignorance is inevitable. Seventh, closely related to the previous point is this: people are not problematic, some parts of them are. So whenever you are thinking of a person and that's really making you negative because you're just very pissed at them, please remember that the person is not bad. They have some traits, some desires, again some ignorance, which is making them behave badly. So when you are thinking about other people, this point actually helps you restrict your negativity towards that specific thing, not the whole person. Because once you start to think of the whole person as bad, stupid, wrong, then that increases your negativity, that increases enmity in you, and that's not a good state of mind to be in. So it's very simple. Instead of thinking I have a bad friend, you just have to think I have a friend who at times does bad things. This shift from the person to the specific thing really reduces your negativity, and it actually pushes you to look at the whole picture, to look at the positive as well. Because now when you think that he sometimes does bad things, it means that on the other times he must be doing good things as well. Sixth, your goal with people is not to judge or fix them. Your goal is to build bonds with them. This shift of goals can actually be really powerful, because now you know what to prioritize in your interaction with them. See, people will disappoint you all the time. They will do things that you will not like. They will sometimes clash directly with you. Like their goals, their desires will clash directly with yours. And in such circumstances, you may want to fix them, change them, judge them, even pursue justice, sometimes even take revenge. We all have the instincts to want to set people straight. Like we don't want to accept bad behavior, because if we accept this much, what if this much comes? And the mind is really creative at imagining such drastic scenarios. Well, today he was rude to me. Tomorrow he can start beating me with a hockey stick. Do you think I'll accept that too? Whoa. Look at this jump. You often end up exaggerating really small mistakes in your mind because you think, oh, if I ignore this right now, it will become really huge in the future. Like your mind is amazing at that negative prediction. What I'm trying to tell you is get out of that excessive defensive mode. Let people make their small mistakes. Let them do whatever they want. Shift your goal to, okay, how much commonality do I have with this person? Like how much do I enjoy their company? And you just try to focus on that. So now your goal is not to correct them. Your goal is to now build a bond with them. And that is such a big relief on your mind, because otherwise you're trying to stay upset to teach them a lesson. You don't know if I should confront or not. You're wondering, should I call 10 people and give this person an intervention? Or should I just stop talking to him completely so that 20 years later they'll realize what a big mistake they made in their lives? All of this thinking really messes up your mind. And I'm saying, get out of it. You are not here to teach other people a lesson. You're here to just build bonds with them as much as you can. So simple. Fifth, accept others the way they are. This sounds like such a cliche line, but it is very, very important. And still absolutely true. We have to accept others the way they are. The basic logic is we don't have any control over others. We really cannot change them. Like first of all, we have no right to change them. And even if they allow us, most of the time we don't even have the capability to change them. Also, who are we to decide what the benchmarks are? Who are we to say somebody is good enough or not? Each person has their own unique destiny. They live their own way. They survive and thrive their own way. Their way of life is legitimate on its own. So who are we to judge? So the core idea here is, however they are living, whatever they are doing, we must accept them the way they are. I mean, it's okay if you want to inspire them, if you want to change them. Like I'm making this video right now so that some ideas of mine can probably help you. I mean, this is fine. But even if you completely reject my ideas, don't do anything, and you meet me someday, it's not like I'll be hateful towards you that, oh, you're so ignorant, I can't talk to you unless you learn such and such. I accept you the way you are. And this is a complete mind shift with other people. Usually you become very negative when you have very clear rights and wrongs for other people. Like this is right, this is wrong, and it has to be done this way or that way. So you're like, I cannot associate with you unless you fix yourself. You're making your association, your connection conditional on change. And that's very problematic. So the mind shift that you have to make is, instead of doing you're wrong, I'll fix you, you need to move towards you are good enough, but I may help you improve. And this is the approach that I not only take with people who come to learn from me, but also with my friends and family members. I have to see them as good enough. I have to accept them as the way they are, but I may still help them in improving in areas that I have some expertise in. Fourth, your negativity would not fix people. All your complaints, your anger, your grudges, you staying upset, you giving them silent treatment, you even breaking off the relationship. Again, like I said earlier, if you're hoping all of that will ultimately fix them, it just won't. So don't try to hold those grudges like they're serving this amazing purpose in this society. They are only making you miserable. Please remember, the only way you can actually fix people or help them improve is by transferring wiser ideas to their minds. And think about it, you sulking and just staying upset, you just showing your tantrums or passive aggression or just anger, how does all of this transfer anything to their minds? What did you teach them? What new idea did you give that person through all your drama? Now, of course, you're entitled to feel your emotions. That's fine. But if you're secretly hoping that that'll somehow change that person, it won't. At most, your emotions can convey the seriousness of the issue to the other person. But that also only works if there is a communication channel going on. You have to tell them your feelings. You then have to tell them why you were disappointed, and then what do you expect from them in the future. Just being internally resentful or just gossiping about that person to other people or even abusing them over the chat, all of that will not teach them anything. So when trying to influence people, you have to move from negative emotions to communication. Third, don't take things personally ever. Whatever people do not take it personally. You have to see each person living their own lives, free to pursue their own desires, behaving in a manner that serves them. And as they are pursuing their desires, as they are living their lives, you are just one among million other variables in their life. So just like they are reacting to millions of other things, they are also reacting to you. And sometimes their behavior will go against your preferences, your expectations. And that has to be 100% understandable, because how can it not go against you at times? For them, their needs are at the top. And even if they are helping you, it is also somehow connected to their long-term needs, maybe what they want from you in return. So as sad as it may sound, as mechanical as it may sound, you are just one variable, one tool in their path, which may help them or hurt them depending on what the situation is. We are all using each other for our own needs. So if somebody does not want to be friends with you because you're not that rich or successful, how can you take that personally? That person is trying to chase clout. That person is trying to get ahead in their social life, build a great network, trying to be friends with wealthy, powerful people. That's their desires. And for that desire, you're just not a suitable solution. How can you take that personally? Just like if you want to go to a concert of electronic music and you want to enjoy it with other electronic music fans, you will not take your mother because she's just not a fan. Her presence will not give you that experience. Should your mother take that personally? Of course not. So once you make peace with this fact that people will use parts of you for their own purpose, just like you use parts of them for your purpose, you never take things personally anymore. Your ultimate sentiment is, well, unfortunately, I was not of use to that person in that moment. And you can apply this even to scenarios where, let's say, people are mean or rude to you. If somebody, let's say, snaps at you for some reason, they get irritated at you, how can you take that personally? That person is built with their own traits, desires, belief systems, and when you came along and you were talking on the phone loudly, that was a variable in their psyche, and their mind reacted to you talking loud in a certain manner, which was them getting irritated. How can you take that personally? Why make it wholly about you? They are bad to me. No, they were bad to your behavior of talking loudly. If you had not talked loudly, they would not behave that way with you. So we're applying that same logic which we did earlier. Instead of connecting their behavior to your whole self, you're connecting it to part of you. 2. Fight biology and develop love and compassion. There is a sad reality about human psychology that we are really capable of enjoying other people's pain, especially those other people are people who we don't like. for some reason. Then we have instincts where we want to dominate other people. Then we enjoy gossiping and ruining reputations of other people behind their backs, so maybe we can also feel better about ourselves. Then we are also tribal by nature, where we can divide people into us and them. And whenever you create this us and them, you just generally treat that other group as inferior, bad, immoral, and then you can treat the members of that group unethically and immorally. Sadly, all of these things are wired in us. This is the gift from evolution. But the good news is, we, through our reasoning, logic, learning, we can choose better ways of thinking, feeling, and behaving. This point is important because sometimes when you are very negative towards others, you can end up thinking really bad things about them. You may even start to wish harm, ruin, or even death on them. You may start to take pleasure in their pain. You may internally enjoy writing them off as just bad, wrong, evil, immoral, or something. But I am asking you to fight these instincts. These instincts may have helped our survival through our evolution, but today they are pretty maladaptive. We don't need them. They cause way more pain than happiness. So the solution to this is, we need to consciously start to develop love for other people, for humanity, for strangers, and even for people who you dislike. It's a very difficult thing to do, but it can be done, and it's worthwhile to do. And the way to start on this journey is, you have to start wishing happiness, well-being, and growth to other people, to every human being on earth. You have to genuinely hope inside that people around you get to live a good life. Everybody deserves happiness in their life. Everybody deserves dignity, respect. And not just that, what can I do to contribute to other people's happiness and well-being? You have to learn to take pleasure in their pleasure, not their pain. And this shift is difficult, but once it happens, it changes your relationship with humanity. If you want to do this properly, you can actually go Google loving kindness meditations. They are amazing at training your mind to think like this. And even I can't claim that I have mastered this skill completely, but I'm on my way. I'm also training my mind with time. Finally, number one, positivity is better in the long run. See, the thing is, whenever you are feeling a lot of negativity towards others, it continues because you feel that it has a lot of purpose, that it's supposed to fix things, to make this world a better place. It feels justified. But when you look back and try to analyze your life and see where has negativity gotten you, like what has it achieved for you, you'll realize that not much. It hurts more than it helps. And this is why, if you truly want the best experience of life, if you want a life of least regrets, highest levels of happiness, positivity is the way to go. Having positive social bonds is one of the best things you can do in your life. First of all, of course, you will be happy, your bonds will be much stronger, but then it also has so many physical benefits. In so many studies, they found out that people who live really long, one of the biggest factors in their longevity is positive social bonds. Positivity not only improves your life, it literally increases your lifespan. It is a buffer against so many mental and physical diseases. So keep this positivity with other people as one of the top goals in life, because if you develop that intention, you'll at least try to find some way. Otherwise, you'll just keep rolling around in your negativity thinking that is the right way. It isn't. Hope these points were helpful. Listen to this video every time you're feeling negative towards others. And if you want me to feel extra positive in life, please like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. And yeah, obviously share this video with somebody who you think is very negative. A very important factor in mental peace is that instead of just thinking and thinking internally, you should be able to talk about your frustrations to someone. But sometimes your friends and family can get tired of listening or might not even understand you well. That's why you should talk to a therapist. Your emotions need regular air ventilation. Your thoughts need regular garbage disposal, like once every week with a trained therapist. At Shridhar Life School, we have a team of therapists that you can talk to. Please go to shridharlifeschool.com to book your sessions.